Greetings, YTPC. It's Peter Piper, the True Light, coming to you at 20 hours and 14 minutes Eastern Standard Time, Saturday evening. Minus 4 hours Greenwich Mean Time for my global subscribers. Topic for tonight's discussion. If you grew up in the 60s, did your dad have a bar? Think about that for a minute while I get relit. Well, when I was growing up in the 60s, and I was born in the mid 1950s, all our parents, at least all our dads, were World War II veterans. Very few exceptions, except for the dads that were maybe too young to enlist at the time and serve. But even then, they may have probably served in the Korean War in the early 1950s. But there was one cultural aspect that seemed to, I don't know, it just seems to stand out in my mind in my childhood, is that whose ever house you went to, and we all used to go to each other's houses, to play and do goofy things, even as teenagers. We'd hang, in our parents' basements. And quite frequently, more often than not, their dad would have a bar in the basement. And it wasn't just, a table with a bunch of bottles and glasses. No, this was an actual bar. Sometimes a wet bar, complete with running water. And they would quite frequently have, at least a stock of, you got your vodka, your gin, your bourbon, your scotch, Canadian Club, various cordials, and it seemed to be a status symbol to be able to mix drinks for your guests. And quite frequently, when parties were had at various homes in the neighborhood or elsewhere, that would be the highlight, I guess, of everything. And it just seemed, everything seemed to revolve around booze. Speaking of which, I'm having a martini right now. Yes. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. If you are about the same age as me, I'm in my 60s, well past mid-60s actually, and if you're my age, did you experience the same thing I did, And it was a fun time. I mean, guys and gals, married couples would come over and really have a quote unquote ball busting good time. There was plenty of banter that went along with it, and especially I'd like to know for my overseas subscribers, was there something similar to that, or is this strictly an American thing, for lack of a better word? So yeah, it was that, and our dads were very creative, hardworking people. They would build on their houses My dad and many of the dads in the neighborhood or friends that I knew of would build things. They'd get into carpentry even if they didn't know what they were doing. And my dad built me a playhouse and everything. Um, that was a good type of. It's just they had this quality, or I don't know what to say. Um, they were really into building a family. It was like the war was over. We had a good economy, and they just wanted to build on that and have fun and do good things for their kids and give them the best life possible. And I think, unfortunately, they spoiled us as a generation, um, and just gave us too much, I think. Uh, you can see what happened during the 60s with, I guess, guys and gals that were a little bit older than I am now. My generation coming of age was more in the 70s, but it was America, American prosperity. And I think that what they gave us, we abused. We didn't really appreciate the value of what our parents gave us. I think we took it for granted and just ran roughshod. Sort of the me generation. And yeah. So that's all I've got to say. Would love to hear what you have to say. Please leave your comments below. We can have a good discussion. Excuse me. So, Peter Piper, the True Light, saying, speak the truth, seek enlightenment, and God bless. Take care, folks.